There he is, the vicious cottonmouth. I walked down to this creek looking for, well, really whatever I could find, but I thought there might be a cottonmouth here. And as soon as I came over the bank, there he was. He's just waiting to chase me. See, there's my foot. He's honing in on it. He'll be after me any second now. This is just a baby. I think it's probably last year's baby. He still has yellow on his tail. He's a little bigger than newborn, so I think he's from last year, most likely. He's maybe 14 inches long, maybe. Anyway, he's been steadily trying to go get away from me while I was posing him here for a photo. That's actually what I'm doing some photography today. Had my real camera out, but so anyway, that's him. Echistrodon piscivorus, common through a lot of the southeast, but most of the snakes that get labeled as water moccasins or cottonmouths, which is the same thing, are not. It's usually some species of water snake, or just some snake that happens to be near the water. And cottonmouths can be found away from the water too, but they do kind of, that's their main habitat. They eat a lot of frogs, and they'll even eat fish and other snakes. And cottonmouths will actually eat almost anything. Small turtles, small mammals. I'm sure they would eat a bird if it gave them the opportunity. Anyway, this is him, the one that everybody's afraid of. Everybody says super vicious. There he is. There's my foot. All he wants to do is not get eaten, which I think is what most of us, that's how most of us feel. Just let's not get eaten by a bear or the world. But we are about 1,000 times bigger than these guys, so they have to worry about a lot more. They do have you don't want to get bitten by them. If you do, you're very, very, very unlikely to die as long as you go seek medical attention. It's going to be a bad day unless it's a dry bite. They can bite and not inject venom, but they don't always. A lot of times they do have venom, and a lot of people, there's also a myth that the babies are more dangerous than the adults because they can't control their venom, and that goes with a lot of species of snakes, and that's completely untrue. If you're going to get bitten by a venomous snake, get bitten by this little 12-inch one. Don't get bitten by a 4-foot, timber rattlesnake. And both of them can control their venom. If they couldn't, that wouldn't, they'd be have an even more difficult time surviving to be adults. But this little guy has a whole lot less venom because he's just a baby. A big venomous snake has much larger venom glands because it needs more venom to kill bigger prey. And more than likely, or a lot more likely, if you get bitten by a bigger one, you're going to get more venom. So that myth is completely false. The little ones, yes, they pack a punch just like the big ones, but they're not. They can control their venom perfectly fine. Anyway, this is the much maligned cottonmouth, and while you can see it does have a distinctive head, a lot of snakes have what people consider a triangular or diamond-shaped head, because they can flatten out their heads, not to mimic other venomous snakes. They're just trying to look bigger and scarier. What really sets our pit vipers apart from snakes that are doing that is really like the depth of the head from like the top down. They're thicker that way, especially compared to like a rat snake that's flattening out its head, or a water snake that's flattening out its head. But that's really not something. Head shape is really not something you can really go by unless you know what you're looking for. I always tell people identifying snakes is like identifying your friend Roger. When you see him across the street, you don't think, let's see, does he have brown hair? Does he have a Zorro mask? Is his shirt pixelated? Yada yada yada. You've just seen him enough times that you're like, oh, there's Roger. And it's the same with venomous snakes. You just need to, or any snakes, if you're around them a lot, familiarize yourself with their pictures and photos. Better yet, seeing them in the wild. It gets pretty easy to tell them. You can just see a small part of one and tell, what species it is most of the time. But anyway, that's all. These cool little snakes, very misunderstood, just like any other snake. They want to be left alone. Snakes are dumb. They'll come toward you sometimes. A cottonmouth might even intentionally kind of bluff towards you a little, but most of the time, if they come toward you, they're just trying to get past you. They may not even realize you're there. They're trying to go to the water or to a hole or whatever because you've startled them. But anyway, you can see if he wanted to chase me, I'm about, my hand's about 16 inches from him, maybe. He doesn't seem all that inclined to chase and kill me, does he? So, say bye. Bye, little cottonmouth.